Blessings to you. Hi, I'm Tia. Today is May 2nd, 2026. Y'all had to get my little self together. I wanted to do this video because of the first two videos that I posted. One was me singing, and yes, it's the same person. I got myself together, changed wigs, y'all know how some of us do. Um, and the second video I posted, it had a little testimony on it. But I wanted to add this third um, video with a couple of pictures. Now, in the previous video, I shared a short testimony of how I was at my cousin's house and I was singing upstairs, a Janet Jackson song, "Let's Wait a While," and I guess one of our cousin, her dad, which was my cousin, he had a friend come over. He was some kind of record producer, and he heard this person upstairs singing, singing, singing. Well, the person that came downstairs was that girl in the single picture. That was me at about 13 years old, and I was teased horribly. I was, and I suffered a lot of bullying and teasing growing up. So much so, I wanted to harm myself. I remember going to one of the beauty supply stores at 16 looking for skin lightening cream. And, the lady was like, "Why do you need that? Why do you want that?" It's like, "Because I don't like the way that I look." And she was like, "Sweetie," she said, "you don't need that." She said, "That stuff, all it's going to do is mess up your skin." I remember at 21, I was walking with one of my cousins, and we were walking down something called the Strip, and it's where the kids, they drove down, walked down when they got out of school. And my cousin and I, we was a bit puffy. We was a bit puffy, and we were just walking down the street, just talking, enjoying, seeing all the people, and a group of guys just yelled out of the car at us. Yeah, well, this one guy in particular, he said, "Yeah, if y'all keep on walking, y'all might look good by the end of the summer." Just the whole car just busted out laughing. I mean, the Strip was full, and we just kind of looked at each other like, "No, he did not." So these were things that I endured growing up, even just a couple years ago. I just turned 54 years old, but I remember really, really getting serious about my weight loss journey. The highest I was over 280 pounds. I mean, I was just not in a good place. And I remember a few years ago, I was getting back up to that weight. I think when I really made the decision to do something about my health, I was over 65 pounds, going up to 270, back up to my highest weight. And I remember, like, okay, I need to start walking, just get out of the house, because I was, super depressed. And I remember, and this is, and I'm telling you about the first time this happened. I might have been maybe like 51. I was walking, and just, and I mean, it was a struggle, you all, because I was just really starting back out walking, and this group of guys in a truck rolled past me and just said, I can't even remember what he said, but it was so horrible. And I was like, here we go again. And you all, that discouraged me, and I stopped walking. I stopped for maybe about a year, and then the Lord just really pricked my spirit to start again. And after a while, I started again. And at the age of 52, it happened again. I was walking, and this different truck full of guys rolled past me, and it was something, I don't know if they spit at me. I mean, one of the situations seemed like they spit at me or threw something at me, but the second time it happened again. And I made a decision. I was like, you know what, these things stopped me earlier in life. I'm not gonna allow it to stop me again. And listen, it has been a struggle. It has been very, very trying. um I had thought about, I'm going to get some weight loss surgery. I'm going to get the shots. And the Lord said, no, I want you to do it the natural way. And it's been tough. Since then, I've been a pescatarian. And for those of you who don't know what a pescatarian is, that they only eat fish. Only fish I eat is like tuna and cod, all that shrimp, sea roaches. I don't eat that stuff. But making that decision, it's been tough, you all. And it took a long time. But what the Lord showed me was that I needed to learn discipline. I needed to know that I am beautiful, and it's not about what I look like on the outside. And it took a lot of time with me praying and seeking the face of God and crying. I can't tell you how many times I cried because I felt, so bad. And some days it's still really, really tough, even being 54 years old. So I want to encourage anybody, if this is something that you have struggled with, if this is something that you're still struggling with, like I said, if I was 50 something years old, still dealing with the trauma and the bullying of what I had grew up experiencing. And when I said it was merciless, it was merciless. I mean, people can be so cruel, so rude. And then to find myself, experience it again at 50 something years old. It could have took me back to it, which mentally it did take me back the first time it happened. It took me back to that little girl that just shut down. Because I grew up very shy. I didn't want to be around people. A lot of things I held inside. I don't even think people knew what all I was going through. I mean, it was just a host of a lot of things that was going on. But if I can encourage anyone just to keep going, um, God loves you. I mean, He does. And you may not think much of yourself. You may not think you're worthwhile. You may not think that you're beautiful or handsome, but you are. And whatever, journey you decide to take as it pertains to your health, I'm not a doctor. I can't give any medical advice. I can only share with you what the Lord told me to do. He told me to do it the natural way because I had done it before, taking all the, fad diet pills and stuff, which, just that stuff for me, it did more damage than it did good to my system. So yes, it's tough. I got to get off them carbs, you all. I'm be real with you. And, it takes time. So I just wanted to encourage you all. I wanted to share these testimonies. Some of you already know I've shared them on other platforms, but that particular one, I don't think that I've shared it on this platform. Some of the bullying that I endured, I mean, it was merciless. It was tough. And I mean, it took me to some very, very dark places, places of depression that I stayed in for decades. And I mean decades. And then getting to the place where my health was so bad, I'm telling you, when I just started this again a few years back, I was like over 265 going up to 270. I was like, yeah. So the Lord said, you have to do something different. And it started with a decision because I had been trying over the years and I would fail and I would try again and I would fail and I got discouraged and then things were happening and I got so down and just making that decision to start again, to try again. So I want to encourage you all, keep going. Allow the Lord to help you through this process, whether you're male, whether you're female, whether this is your first time starting off, whether you have started off, started 90 times. Keep going. All right, you all, I just wanted to share this testimony with you. God bless you. I'm praying for you. I love you. Please never forget that God loves you most of all.